Welcome to another deep dive. And today we're going to be taking a look at AI and business.
Oh, very exciting.
Yeah, and the specific source material we're going to be looking at is this transcript from a presentation on AInalyze,
Okay.
which is this new AI tool. And it's kind of being billed as this, 24/7 data analyst.
I've heard of this.
Yeah, so it's going to be really interesting to dive in and see what it's all about. I've got an expert here with me today in AI and data analytics.
Thanks for having me.
So let's just get right into it. What is this AInalyze? What problem is it solving for businesses?
So AInalyze is an AI-powered tool, and it is designed to make businesses make faster and more informed decisions.
Okay.
And the main problem that it tackles is the overwhelming amount of data that businesses generate every day.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely a problem.
It is. AInalyze kind of acts like a translator.
Okay.
It's taking all of this raw data, so from your sales figures to customer reviews, and it's putting it into insights that you can actually use.
So like in real time.
Yes, exactly.
Well, that's cool. So can you give us an example of what that actually looks like? How that real-time aspect makes a difference?
Absolutely. So imagine you're running an online store and you see a sudden drop in sales.
Oh, no.
So AInalyze can instantly alert you to that issue, analyze the data, maybe figure out, a competitor launched a promotion.
Okay.
Maybe there's a tech glitch that's affecting the checkout.
That's so useful, though.
Yeah, so it allows you to, react immediately and minimize those potential losses.
So you're not just like sitting there scratching your head for a week going, what's going on?
Exactly.
That's awesome. So it kind of helps businesses move from like reacting to problems to proactively addressing them, right?
Absolutely.
Cool. So what sets AInalyze apart from other data analytics tools? We hear about a lot of these things, but
So one key difference is its ability to learn and adapt to your specific business needs.
oh, okay.
So it uses machine learning, which we can talk about that a little bit
Right.
more.
I was going to ask about that.
Yeah. But it constantly refines the understanding of your data, so it's becoming more accurate
Okay.
and more insightful over time. It's like having a data analyst who's
Sure.
getting smarter.
Who knows your business?
Exactly.
That's very cool. So yeah, before we dive into how it all works, I think for our listeners, it would be good to just have a quick explanation of what machine learning is, because it's kind of like a buzzword.
It is.
But what is it really?
So machine learning is basically how computers can learn from data without being programmed explicitly.
Okay.
So it's like teaching a child patterns. So you show them examples, and eventually they can identify those patterns on their own. So for AInalyze, the more data it processes, the better it becomes at identifying those trends, making predictions, and just, tailoring to your business needs.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So the more data it has, the better it gets.
Exactly.
Okay. So let's get into the actual nitty-gritty of AInalyze. What are the main functionalities?
Sure. So first and foremost, AInalyze is amazing at handling various different types of data.
Okay.
So it's not just numbers, it can handle text and even social media sentiment.
Oh, wow.
And it's able to do that through data integration.
What's that?
So AInalyze pulls data from your various sources, so like your CRM, your marketing platforms, your financial software.
Okay, so it integrates all the stuff that usually is just siloed.
Yeah,
It's a pain.
exactly.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and then it can do semantic analysis,
What does that up?
which is particularly interesting, I think, for understanding customer feedback.
Okay.
So AInalyze uses natural language processing, which is, another
Yeah, it's another buzzword.
buzzword.
Yeah.
But it's basically being able to understand the sentiment and themes within that data.
So it's not just like what they're saying, but how they're saying it.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so this can be used for customer reviews, social media comments, things like that.
So you can actually see, are people generally positive or negative about this thing?
Yes, exactly.
It's really cool.
And to make all of these insights, actually accessible and easy to understand, AInalyze is like a visualization powerhouse.
Okay.
It automatically generates these, charts and graphs.
Oh, cool. So you don't have to do it.
Exactly, and it's dynamic, so it's updating in real time.
Oh, wow.
Giving you a visual representation of basically your business's pulse.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So much better than staring at spreadsheets.
Yes, exactly.
So we've talked a lot about analyzing like what's already happened, but what about like predicting future stuff?
Yes.
What about that? What can AInalyze do there?
I think that's where it gets really exciting,
Okay.
Imagine being able to forecast your sales,
Oh, yeah.
anticipate customer churn, or even predict market shifts.
That would be amazing.
It would. AInalyze uses statistical models and machine learning to do just that.
Wow.
So businesses can make proactive decisions.
Yeah, so you're not just reacting.
Exactly.
Or like getting ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So can you give us like a little peek under the hood here?
Sure.
What technology is actually powering all this?
So at its core, AInalyze is using machine learning and real-time processing.
Yeah.
And it's employing all these advanced algorithms. And again, it's constantly learning and improving.
So it's not just like a static program. It's always getting better.
It's always getting better. Yeah, every interaction, every query makes the system smarter.
That's so cool. Okay, so with all this talk about, powerful AI and these algorithms, I think a lot of people might be thinking, oh, this is just for like the tech wizards,
right?
The people who can code. But is it?
No, and that's, I think, one of the things that excites me the most about AInalyze is its user-friendliness.
Okay.
So it's designed for everyone, regardless of your technical background.
That's awesome.
The interface is intuitive, the dashboards are customizable, and you can even ask questions in plain English.
So you don't have to be like, a coder to use it.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, so you've got all this data being analyzed and shared, so security's got to be a huge concern.
Yeah, of course.
How does AInalyze make sure that, sensitive information is protected?
So AInalyze is built with robust security measures in place.
Okay.
So first, it uses data anonymization.
Okay, and what does that mean?
So that means that personal identifiers are removed
Gotcha.
or encrypted to protect individual privacy.
Okay.
All the data is also encrypted both during transmission and when it's stored on their servers.
Oh, so it's like double encrypted.
Yes. And it also has, very specific access controls. So you can choose who has access to what data.
Well, that's cool.
Based on their role in the company.
So you're not just like, giving everybody access to everything.
No, exactly. It's about making sure that data is accessible for decision making.
Yeah.
But keeping it safe and secure.
Cool. So AInalyze complies with all those like data privacy regulations like GDPR and all that.
Absolutely. All those regulations designed to protect user data and privacy.
So you know that your data is safe.
Exactly.
That's great. Okay, so we've talked about how AInalyze can handle all this different data. It gives real-time insights. You can predict future trends, keeps your data secure. But how are businesses actually using it today?
So the applications are really vast.
Yeah.
But, let's focus on a few areas. So in finance, imagine AInalyze helping to assess risks in real time.
Okay.
Analyzing market trends, even detecting fraud.
Oh, wow.
As it happens.
That's amazing.
And then in marketing, it can provide instant feedback on your campaign performance.
Okay.
Really segment your audience.
Yeah.
And predict customer behavior based on their actions and preferences.
It sounds like AInalyze could be useful for basically any business.
Absolutely.
Any business that wants to use data to make decisions.
Exactly. And then in operations, think about supply chain optimization, real-time inventory management, and even predicting when equipment might need maintenance.
Oh, wow.
So you can analyze data from across your entire operation. You can identify bottlenecks.
Okay.
You can anticipate disruptions.
So it's like having this assistant who's constantly monitoring your business and telling you what's going on and what might go wrong.
Exactly.
That's really cool. So this all sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Are there any challenges, though?
There are.
Are there any challenges that businesses might face when they actually try to implement AInalyze?
So while AInalyze is designed to be user-friendly, there is still a learning curve to, understanding and interpreting those insights.
So it's not just like, okay, here's the answer.
Exactly.
You have to kind of figure out what it all means.
Exactly. And, training and education are key to that successful implementation.
Gotcha.
It's also important to ensure that AInalyze integrates seamlessly with your existing systems.
Right, because you mentioned earlier, like, it has to talk to your CRM and all that other stuff. So are there ways to do that?
Yes. So APIs are the key to that. They're basically the messengers that allow different software applications to talk to each other.
Okay. So that's something that businesses need to make sure they've got set up.
Yeah. They need to have that kind of infrastructure in place.
Okay.
And then, another challenge is data quality.
Oh, right. Because if you put garbage in, you get garbage out.
Exactly.
If the data is bad, it's not going to help you.
It's not going to help you. So robust data governance practices are key.
Okay.
And then lastly, it's really important to remember that AInalyze is a tool to enhance human judgment, not replace it.
Okay.
So it's about finding that sweet spot where AI and human intelligence work together.
Gotcha. So it's not like, oh, the AI is going to make all our decisions now. It's
Right.
like the AI is going to give us all the information to make the decisions.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. So we've covered a lot of ground here. We've looked at what AInalyze is, how it works, its security features, some potential applications, and some of the challenges.
Yeah.
So the next part, we're going to dive into how AInalyze impacts specific industries
Oh, great.
and its potential to empower small businesses.
Exciting.
Yeah, and then some of the broader implications of AI on the future of business.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
Looking forward to it.
So stay tuned.
Welcome back to the deep dive.
Yeah.
So in the last part, we talked all about what AInalyze is, this incredible new tool. Now I want to kind of look at how it can actually change the way companies operate.
Okay.
And I think a good place to start is with company culture.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm curious about that. How can a tool like AInalyze actually influence company culture?
Well, it's about democratizing data. So imagine a workplace where data insights aren't just limited to a select few analysts or executives.
Right.
With AInalyze, anyone in the company, regardless of their technical expertise, can access and understand really important business data.
Well, that's amazing. That's really empowering.
Yeah, it really is. It breaks down those traditional data silos, and it allows for a more inclusive and data-driven culture.
Oh, I like that. Data-driven culture.
Yeah.
So it's not just about, having the data. It's about, having that shared understanding.
Right.
And everybody being on the same page.
Exactly. So teams can collaborate more effectively. They can make decisions based on those real-time insights.
Okay.
Rather than just going with their gut or assumptions.
But with great power comes great responsibility.
It does.
So how does AInalyze ensure that this new, access to all this data is used responsibly?
That's a really good question. So AInalyze definitely prioritizes, data security and privacy, like we talked about. But it's equally important is the training and the education.
Okay.
So companies need to make sure they're equipping their employees with the right skills and knowledge to actually interpret and use that data effectively.
So it's like, data literacy.
It's not just about having the data, but knowing what to do with it.
Exactly. So AInalyze can really be a catalyst for this cultural shift.
Okay.
Empowering these businesses to become truly data-driven organizations.
Very cool. Okay, so let's maybe get into some of the more practical stuff here.
Sure.
Like, how do you actually integrate AInalyze into a company's systems?
So, we talked about APIs a little bit earlier.
You did, yeah. You mentioned that it needs to be able to, talk to the other systems.
Exactly. And seamless integration is key for AInalyze to really reach its full potential.
Okay.
So APIs act as these bridges that allow AInalyze to connect with different applications.
So it's like pulling all the data from all these different places.
Yeah, CRM, marketing automation,
Gotcha.
financial databases.
And, instead of having it siloed, it's bringing it all together.
Bringing it all together.
To get that big picture.
Exactly.
Very cool. Okay, so it sounds like this integration could be kind of complicated.
Yeah, it can be.
What kind of support does AInalyze offer to businesses who are like, okay, how do we actually do this?
Yeah, well, they provide extensive documentation and resources for developers, and they also have a really great support team that can help with any challenges. They've also got this growing community of developers who can, share best practices and solutions and things like that.
That's really helpful.
Yeah.
Okay, so we talk about how AInalyze can be used in all these different industries,
right?
Finance, marketing, and operations. But I'm kind of curious to hear more about, what about other industries?
Oh, yeah. The possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
So we're seeing it being used in healthcare, education, manufacturing, retail. Pretty much every sector is recognizing how powerful this data-driven insight can be.
It's so cool to see that, data is this valuable asset.
It is.
For all these different businesses. So you mentioned healthcare.
Yeah.
How are they using AInalyze?
So, for example, AInalyze can be used to analyze all this patient data. Okay. Identify trends, maybe predict potential outbreaks, and even personalize treatment plans.
Oh, wow. Personalized treatment plans. That's incredible.
Yeah. And then in education, it can help institutions track student performance, identify areas where they might be struggling, and personalize learning experiences.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That sounds like it could really revolutionize the way we approach healthcare and education.
Yeah, it really could.
Can you talk a little more about, the personalized treatment plans?
Yeah, sure. So imagine a doctor's trying to figure out, the best treatment for a patient with a really complicated medical history.
Yeah.
Can analyze their entire medical record.
Okay.
Genetic information, lifestyle factors, even data from like a wearable health tracker.
Oh.
And,
okay.
by considering all of these different factors, AInalyze can give insights into the patient's individual risk factors,
Wow.
potential drug interactions,
Go.
and the likelihood of success for the different treatment options.
That's incredible. So you're really tailoring the treatment to that specific person.
Yeah.
What about the education, the personalized learning?
Yeah, so let's say a student struggling with a math concept.
Okay.
AInalyze can track their progress, figure out where they're having difficulty, and recommend resources like interactive tutorials, practice problems, even connect them with a tutor who specializes in that area.
That's like having, a virtual tutor who's just there for you whenever you need them.
Exactly. And it can help identify their strengths as well.
Oh, okay. So not just like, where they're struggling, but also, what they're good at.
Exactly. So educators can then nurture their potential in those areas.
This is amazing stuff.
It's really cool.
It feels like we're really on the edge of like a major transformation in how we use data to just improve lives.
Yeah. And, tools like AInalyze are really leading the way.
Yeah.
Empowering these businesses and individuals to harness this power of data.
Now, before we wrap up this part of the deep dive, I want to go back to something we talked about a little earlier, which is AInalyze's impact on, small and medium-sized businesses.
Right.
Those SMEs, we know that they face unique challenges.
Yes.
Especially when they're competing with these bigger companies.
Yeah.
So how does AInalyze help with that?
So in the past, this kind of sophisticated data analysis was just way too expensive for most small businesses. You either had to build an in-house data science team.
Right, which is a lot of money.
A lot of money, yeah. Or you had to buy this really expensive software.
Yeah.
AInalyze is different.
Okay.
It's designed to be affordable, accessible to businesses of all sizes.
So it's kind of leveling the playing field.
It is. It's giving those SMEs that same decision-making power as those large corporations.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So it's giving them, this kind of secret weapon to compete.
Exactly. And when small businesses thrive, the economy benefits.
Right. It's good for everybody. Exactly.
Okay, so I know a lot of small business owners might be listening to this and being like, okay, this is really cool, but where do I even start?
Right.
What advice would you give to somebody who's intrigued but a little overwhelmed?
So my advice is start by just identifying a specific challenge or opportunity in your business where AInalyze could really make a difference.
Okay, so like what's the problem you're trying to solve?
Exactly. Do you want to improve customer retention? Do you want to optimize your marketing? Streamline operations. Once you have a clear goal in mind, reach out to the AInalyze team.
Okay.
They'll give you a demo. They'll answer your questions.
Oh, that's cool.
And they'll guide you through the whole process.
So it sounds like they're really committed to supporting, businesses of all sizes.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's fantastic. Now, before we move on to the last part of our deep dive, where we'll get into some of the bigger picture implications of AI.
The future.
Yeah, the future.
I want to take a minute to recap what we've talked about so far.
Sure.
So we talked about how AInalyze is transforming company culture, creating that data literacy, empowering employees. We've explored its uses in all these different industries.
Right.
And its ability to, help those smaller businesses compete.
Absolutely.
And we've also touched on the importance of, doing all of this responsibly.
Yeah.
Making sure the data is secure and ethical.
It's very important.
So stay tuned for part 3, where we'll delve into that future of AI.
The future.
Yeah, the future.
Yeah.
And its potential to, completely reshape the way we do business. Welcome back to the deep dive. So in this final part, we're going to kind of shift gears from the specifics of AInalyze to the bigger picture of AI.
Okay.
We've seen how this tool can revolutionize business decisions. But what about its impact on the future of work itself?
Yeah. That's the big question, isn't it?
It is.
AI is evolving so rapidly, it's definitely transforming the workforce.
Yeah. And, I think a lot of people are understandably concerned about, AI taking over jobs.
Right.
How do you see AInalyze and other AI tools impacting the job market?
Well, I think it's important to remember that, throughout history, technological advancements have always led to shifts in the job market.
That's true.
some jobs become automated,
Right.
but new roles emerge.
Okay.
Think about the transition from like horse-drawn carriages to automobiles.
Oh, yeah.
Jobs were lost in, the horse and buggy industry,
Of course.
but tons of new opportunities were created in the automotive industry.
Right. Mechanics and drivers. And...
Exactly. Designers, engineers.
Yeah.
So it's not about AI replacing humans. It's about changing the nature of work.
Gotcha.
Creating new avenues for human ingenuity.
So instead of being afraid of AI, taking our jobs,
Right.
we should be thinking about how we can work with it.
Exactly.
Use it to our advantage.
Yeah. AI can handle those, repetitive, data-heavy tasks.
So the boring stuff.
Yeah. And free up human workers to focus on the strategic thinking.
Okay.
The problem solving.
So the stuff that humans are actually good at.
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense. So AInalyze, for example,
Yeah.
can analyze tons of data.
Right.
Give us those insights. But it's still humans who are interpreting those insights.
Of course.
Making decisions based on, our experience.
Yeah.
Taking action.
It's a really powerful partnership.
Yeah, it is.
You've got AI providing the data.
The information.
And humans providing that context, creativity, critical thinking. It's like a perfect match.
It is.
So we've talked a lot about, AI's potential.
Yeah.
But it's important to, talk about the ethical considerations as well.
Absolutely.
How do we make sure that AI is developed and used responsibly?
Well, I think ethical AI development is crucial.
Okay.
We have to make sure these systems are fair, unbiased, and transparent.
Yeah.
That means, having diverse teams working on them.
Okay.
Using representative data sets.
Yeah.
So you're not just training them on,
right.
biased data.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So minimizing that risk of bias.
So it's like, building that into the design from the beginning.
Yes, from the ground up.
And also having, open discussions about what could happen.
Exactly.
What are the implications?
Yeah.
Setting up some guidelines for using it responsibly.
And that's a responsibility for all of us.
Yeah.
Developers, businesses, policymakers, everyone.
Yeah. It's got to be a collaborative thing.
It does.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Sure.
I want to leave our listeners with a question.
Okay.
We talked about how AI can help us make better decisions.
Uh-huh.
But what happens when those decisions need to be made instantly?
Right.
Without time for human intervention?
That's a big one.
Think about like self-driving cars.
Yeah.
Or automated financial trading.
Right. Who's accountable then?
Yeah.
How do we define intelligence?
Yeah. All these questions that we don't really have the answers to yet.
Yeah.
But we need to start thinking about them.
We do.
AI is becoming more and more autonomous.
Right.
It's the future.
It is.
So it's uncharted territory. But I think, having these discussions, exploring these ethical questions,
absolutely,
bringing together the AI experts, the policymakers, the public.
Yeah.
That's how we're going to figure this out.
Collaboration is key.
It is. So the future of AI is really in our hands.
It is. We have the power to shape it.
And we need to do it responsibly.
Ethically.
For the benefit of everyone.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into AInalyze and the future of AI.
It's been a pleasure being here.
And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in.
Keep learning.
Stay curious.
Stay informed.
And be part of shaping this future with us.
Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive.